Chef who stopped cooking. Vanchi 2014. Akash Kadam, age 42, was the kind of man people described as simple, though those who knew him well preferred the word warm. He lived in a modest apartment in Bural Nagar of Vanchi city with his wife, Nisha, and their 7-year-old son, Rohan. He worked at Krishnatech, an IT firm where the lights hummed louder than the people, and where deadlines mattered more than birthdays. But Akash had something that made him different from everyone else in that grey office. He cooked. Every morning he rose before sunrise and turned his tiny kitchen into an orchestra of sizzling oil, chopped coriander, and fragrant spices. He packed 3 steel tiffins, 1 for himself, 2 full of extras for colleagues, because sharing food was his love language. His desk was always a small feast: paneer tikka rolls, dal khichdi with ghee, lemon rice, chicken sukka, stuffed parathas. "Bhai, why are you in IT?" one colleague would ask almost every week. "Chef ban jao, yaar." Another would add, half teasing, half wishing. Akash would laugh and shake his head. "Arre, restaurant business is not easy. Don't joke like that." But he wasn't brushing it off. Not entirely. Late at night, after Rohan slept, Akash worked quietly on a dream he had spent years suppressing. A restaurant. His restaurant. He searched for affordable spaces, sketched menus, tasted new recipes, researched licenses, and even spoke to 2 young men who wanted to join his staff. Nisha was the only one who knew. Sometimes she held his hand when he looked overwhelmed. "You were born to cook, Akash," she'd say. "I can feel it." He'd smile, embarrassed yet hopeful. "Let's see. Slowly, one step at a time." Life was moving gently, beautifully, until the day everything changed. The resignation. It happened on a normal day, so normal that Akash still remembered the color of the sky through the office window, pale, bored blue. He had made a tiny mistake in a log report. Nothing major, nothing harmful, but his boss, Mr. Maheshwaran, stormed into his cubicle. "Akash, do you ever use your brain?" he roared. The entire floor fell silent. Akash stood up, hands clasped. "Sir, I understand it was my mistake. I'll correct it. Correct it. Do you think we pay you to do charity mistakes? Always food, food, food on your table but no attention to work." Something inside Akash cracked. He swallowed once, twice. His ears heated. He tried. He truly tried to stay calm. But then he whispered, "Sir, I think I don't want this job anymore." The room froze. Even Maheshwaran blinked. "What nonsense. I'm resigning," Akash said, louder this time. The boss laughed sharply. "And what will you do? Support your family by feeding them masala rice? Don't be stupid." Akash stared straight into his eyes. "I will start my own restaurant." The boss burst into loud, mocking laughter. "You run a restaurant? You don't have the expertise. You will fail, Akash. And when you do, you will crawl back here, begging me for a job. That day, I will hire you for half salary." Akash felt his cheeks burn, but he didn't look away. "I won't be coming back, sir," he said, picking up his lunchbox and walking out. People watched him leave as if witnessing someone stepping off a cliff. The dream takes shape. At home, when he told Nisha, she didn't panic. She didn't even blink. "I'm proud of you," she said simply. Rohan climbed onto Akash's lap and asked, "Papa, will your restaurant have potato fries?" Akash laughed. "Yes, beta. The best ones." Those 2 faces were enough to steady his heart. He threw himself into the restaurant plan with all the energy he had suppressed for years. They found a small, newly vacant corner space in Amar Market Circle. Akash painted the walls himself, hung warm lights, bought new stoves, arranged tables, polished the menu with care. The name he chose was Rohan's Rasoi. A week before the grand opening, invitations were printed and sent. Akash walked into that empty restaurant at night just to sit alone, letting himself imagine the smell of food, the clinking of plates, the glow of happiness he would bring people. The ceiling. Then, one afternoon, a man in a government uniform walked in with 3 others. "Inspection," the man grunted. Akash welcomed them politely, offering water. They walked around with clipboards, tapping walls, sniffing air, muttering to each other. Finally, the officer said flatly, "Not hygienic. Premises sealed." Akash's heart stopped. "What? Sir, this is a brand new renovation. Please, look, take it up with the department, the officer said, stamping the red sealed mark on the shutter. Akash touched the stamp with trembling fingers. Sir, please. Launch is in 7 days. Please reconsider. At least tell me the exact issue. Next, they walked away. He stood there until night fell, staring at the shutter with the red mark that felt like blood. The slow crushing. The next 3 months were an endless loop of humiliation. Officers demanded documents he had already submitted, then asked for new ones not listed anywhere. Some openly hinted for bribes. Some took money and still delayed. Come after 1 week. Your file is missing. Your approval officer is on leave. System is down. Akash ran from office to office, sweating, pleading, breaking inside. He cancelled the launch. He refunded advance bookings. He kept paying rent for a sealed space. His savings, 2 years' worth, dried up in 3 months. Nisha watched him suffer, helpless. One night he finally admitted, in a cracked whisper, I think, we must stop. At least for now. Nisha placed her forehead against his. We tried, Akash. We truly did. The government informed him that even though all documents were technically correct now, the review committee would take another 6 months before reopening the property. 6 months. Akash felt like someone had quietly buried his dream under concrete. The return. He applied for jobs. Everywhere. But rumors spread quickly in corporate circles. He quit impulsively. He left in the middle of a project. He defected. He won't last. No one gave him his old salary. Some offers were half. Some were insulting. 2 months later, defeated and exhausted, he walked back to Krishnatek. His palms were sweating when he entered his boss's cabin. Maheshwaran looked up. For a moment there was silence. Then, surprisingly, the boss smiled gently. Akash, sit. Akash swallowed. Sir, I was hoping. You can have your old job, the boss said calmly. Same position. Same salary. Forget the last 6 months. Start fresh. Akash blinked. Sir, thank you. And I'm sorry. I really am. Maheshwaran nodded. Life is unpredictable, Akash. Just focus again. Akash walked back to his old desk. The same old monitor. The same old fluorescent lights. The same old chair. But he was not the same. Something inside him had been hollowed out. His desk stayed empty of food. No more tiffins. No more aroma. No more sharing. Colleagues whispered. Why doesn't he cook anymore? He's changed. Poor guy. But no one asked him directly. And Akash himself didn't know how to explain that cooking now felt like touching the memory of something that had hurt him. So he stopped. The only spark. Months later, his friend Arvind, a podcaster, released an episode called The Man Who Tried. He didn't name Akash. He didn't need to. He spoke about a man who cooked with love, who dared to chase a dream, who was crushed not by failure but by a system designed to exhaust honest people. He spoke of injustice, of bureaucracy, of talent that goes unseen. The video quietly went viral. It ignited conversations. It inspired protests. It planted the first seeds of a movement that, years later, would lead to a major reform initiative in Vanchi. But Akash never knew that. He never saw the movement that sprouted from his pain. He simply went to work every day, logged in, did his tasks, went home quietly, and stopped cooking. The city moved on. But somewhere, in a sealed shop in Amar Market Circle, the faint smell of spices still lingered in the air, like the ghost of a dream that almost came true.